We are coming up on year 11 of playing Mario Kart 8, and as it's time as the flagship Mario Kart title comes to a close with Mario Kart World releasing June 5th, let's take a look back and celebrate this incredible game with 100 facts about Mario Kart 8 and 8 Deluxe that you might not know. Mario Kart 8 and Mario Kart 8 Deluxe's combined sales totaled 76.6 million units sold. That makes it Nintendo's second highest game of all time, just 5 million short of Wii Sports. Despite being the first Mario Kart game to introduce the 200cc engine class, 200cc wasn't in Mario Kart 8 at launch, not being added until the 4.0 update in April of 2015. If a player has a speed boost in 200cc, they're actually faster than both the red and blue shell, meaning if you can sustain that high speed, you can actually outrun shells. In the version 1.1 update of Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, Inkling Girl's trick animation was changed to remove her hand from her bicep. It's thought this animation was removed as it could be interpreted as Inkling Girl saying, "Up yours." Almost all characters have rivals that have heightened racing CPU levels during Grand Prix mode. For example, when racing as Mario, Bowser and Peach will be the best CPU racers and pose the hardest challenge for the racer. However, Lakitu, Link, and Mies do not have rival racers.
Loser.
Hey, I've heard this call before.
I'll bet you have.
Kamek was originally going to be a racer in Mario Kart 8, but was left out at the last minute. Remnants of his character, such as his kart emblem, were left in the files and not removed. However, he would eventually make his Mario Kart debut 9 years later in the Booster Course Pass DLC. Wave 6 added 17 new Mii costumes, each with a unique trick animation and anti-gravity. The original gimmick for Mario Kart 8 was a drill mechanic that would allow you to drill through the course to gain an advantage. It was changed to anti-gravity because the drill mechanic was too complex to get working. The Luigi death stare became a meme in the Mario Kart community as players were creating edits of Luigi staring down racers as they got attacked on the course. Nintendo would go on to quote this meme during E3 2014. Super Bell Subway has many references to other tracks in the game that hint that they're all part of a connected world. Also, the city shown on the subway map shows a resemblance to the city under N64 Rainbow Road. Mario Kart 8 was the first game in the series to not have battle mode specific courses. Instead, they offered 8 racing tracks to be used as battle mode courses. This was dumb as bricks, and luckily in 8 Deluxe they gave us 8 new courses to play on. Along with the new courses, 8 Deluxe also added 3 other battle modes alongside Balloon Battle and Coin Runners. First, you got 2 returning modes from Double Dash, Bomb on Blast, a Balloon Battle type mode with just Bob-ombs, and Shine Thief, a King of the Hill mode where you try to hold on to the shine for the most amount of time. The final new battle mode was Renegade Roundup, a Cops and Robbers type mode where chasers would use the Piranha Plant power-up to capture the Renegade and try to keep all of them in jail before one of their teammates could save them. On the Wii U, you could share highlights from Mario Kart TV on Miiverse and also upload them to YouTube. This was discontinued along with Miiverse in 2017. Winning every cup in 200cc in Mirror mode unlocks alternate title screens, including one where Luigi calls the game Luigi Kart 8.
Luigi Kart 8!
When Mario Kart 8 was ported to the Switch, Nintendo decided to add a few new alternate title screens of DLC characters like Link and Villagers, as well as making the original Mario Kart 8 title screen unlockable, as it was obviously replaced when Mario Kart 8 Deluxe was released. Cloudtop Cruise's theme is a jazz-inspired take on Super Mario Galaxy 2's Sky Station Galaxy theme. The merry-go-round theme from Big Boo's Haunt in Super Mario 64 can be heard in Water Park if you stand under the Aqua Cups ride. Near the crate conveyor belt inside of Sunshine Airport, there's a scrolling chart that shows the arrival and departure times of flights going to many other tracks in the game. The firework of Yoshi on N64 Rainbow Road is based on artwork from Yoshi's Topsy Turvy. Captain Falcon's taunt from Super Smash Bros. Makes a cameo on the Jumbotrons of Mute City.
Show me your moves!
The coins on Hyrule Castle, Animal Crossing, and Yoshi's Island are replaced by currency from their respective games: rupees, bells, and Yoshi coins. Version 1.5 of Mario Kart 8 Deluxe added Labo support, allowing racers to race using their cardboard creations. Pauline's horn sound effect is based on the Clear Stage theme from Donkey Kong Arcade. King Boo's horn sound effect is based on King Boo's boss fight from Super Mario Sunshine. In the original release of Wave 1 of the Booster Course Pass, the cars outside of Coconut Mall were frozen and didn't move around. However, in a later update, they changed this to make them spin and attack players, more similar to their appearance in Mario Kart Wii. However, because of this late addition, the time trial version of Coconut Mall does not have spinning cars, and instead just has them frozen like the original release of the track. This sign just outside of Battle Course 1 has a striking resemblance to the character select screen from Super Mario Kart on the SNES. Battle Course 1 is also the only battle course to have one jail and renegade roundup. Every other battle course has 2 or more. The United States is the only country in the Booster Course Pass to receive 2 city tracks. Singapore Rush is the only city track named after the country it's based on, not the city. Before the Booster Course Pass was fully released and still had 5 mystery waves to go, a leak was found in the code of the game that could show the prefixes of said tracks and what games they would be returning from. While it was almost entirely accurate on the quantity of tracks and where they would be coming from in the Booster Course Pass, the locations of said tracks seem to have been swapped around throughout the pass, specifically in waves 3 through 6, where the final layouts of the Grand Prix were heavily changed from what was shown in the prefix leak. Mercedes-Benz and Mario Kart teamed up for a collaboration in 2014, releasing the Mercedes GLA, Silver Arrow, and Roadster all as drivable karts in-game. If that isn't weird enough, they also released this live-action commercial in Japan, where this guy playing Mario plays on a lifelike version of GBA Mario Circuit. The Mercedes GLA kart would go on to be referenced in Super Mario Maker as a Mario costume. The Moo Moo Meadows cow costume in Mario Kart 8 Deluxe is actually just called the Moo Moo costume, which is confusing because in Mario Kart World, the playable cow is just called cow. By scrolling down into a submenu, then backing out to the title screen, you can see alternate title screens featuring the submenu's art. Some look really sick and some I could live without. Starting in 2021, Nintendo of Europe started running seasonal circuits, where racers could win prizes and Nintendo Gold points. Some of the coolest prizes include a Lego NES, a custom seasonal circuit themed Switch case, and a real lifelike Mario Kart themed racing suit. Yoshi's Island's Finish theme is based on the Finish theme from the original Yoshi's Island game. Although Ninja Hideaway made its official debut in Mario Kart Tour, it is considered a Switch track by the developers. Coins were brought back in Mario Kart 7 for the first time since Super Mario Kart, allowing racers to rack up coins to max out their top speed. The feather, also returning from Super Mario Kart, is still, to this day, the only Battle Mode exclusive item. There are just as many tracks with Mario in the name as there are Rainbow Road tracks in this game, that being 5 of each. Of the 38 Mii costumes in Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, only 3 of them aren't based on characters. Those 3 would be the Question Block suit, the Castle suit, and the Ice Cream suit. 2 iconic gap jumps from Mario Kart Wii returned in the Booster Course Pass, with DK Summit and Mushroom Gorge. I can't do either of them though. The 3 sections on Ribbon Road are all based on 3 different Mario characters. Red is a fairly simple section based on Mario. Green is a bit trickier with weirder turns based on Luigi. And the final blue section is based on Rosalina with anti-gravity and free-floating ribbon. The voice line announcing the final lap, heard in past F-Zero games, can actually be heard in both Mute City and Big Blue at the start of lap 3.
Yeah! The final lap!
Mario Kart 8 introduced 2 accessibility features called Smart Steering and Auto Accelerate. Both are turned on, your racer can complete the race without even touching the controller. Mario Kart 8 Deluxe added 5 new characters to the roster from Mario Kart 8. It added Bowser Jr., Dry Bones, Inkling Boy, Inkling Girl, and King Boo. Villager Boy and Girl were originally 2 separate characters. However, when being brought to 8 Deluxe, they were merged into one character, with a submenu allowing you to pick between the 2. Villager Boy wears a red t-shirt with the letters NTDO on it. This is an obvious reference to Sony. ATVs were Mario Kart 8's brand new class of vehicles. However, in the original release on the Wii U, there were only 4 options available. The Master Cycle was a DLC bike specifically made to pair nicely with Link in races. In the Breath of the Wild DLC titled The Champion's Ballad, players could unlock a similar bike, most likely inspired by the one in Mario Kart called the Master Cycle Zero. Then when Breath of the Wild Link was brought to Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, they paired him up with the Master Cycle Zero. All of this to say, Mario Kart inspired a bike that would go on to inspire Zelda to make a bike that would go on to be added to Mario Kart. Truly the Ouroboros of content. Totaka's song, an Easter egg composition made by Koizumi Totaka for Mario Paint, can be heard by some of the Yoshis on the sidelines of the tracks. Baby Rosalina and Pink Gold Peach make their Mario game debut in Mario Kart 8. Captain Falcon is the only Nintendo character in Mario Kart history to have tracks based on him, without actually appearing as a raceable character in-game. The Parafoil Glider is a reference to the skydiving minigame from Wii Sports Resort. When you unlock Gold Mario for winning each Grand Prix in 200cc, he isn't just unlocked, he also replaces Metal Mario's icon on the character selection screen, relegating him to an alternate costume. This womp on Berlin byways that comes crashing down is a reference to the Berlin Wall and its eventual teardown in 1989. Most retro tracks in the Booster Course Pass got pretty faithful remakes, with identical routes to their appearance in older games. However, the two tracks Calamari Desert and Peach Gardens were reimagined with diverging routes from their unique versions in Mario Kart Tour. Sunset Wilds, the iconic sunset track from Mario Kart Super Circuit, was brought back for the Booster Course Pass. However, this track's main gimmick that has the sun go down a little more every single lap was removed, because it was just too hard for the developers to implement into the skybox, which I totally understand, if they didn't already implement it in both Super Circuit and Tour versions of this track.
Tony Stark was able to build this in a cave with a box of scraps!
Along with the 17 free Wave 6 Mii costumes, they also added an extra amiibo costume for Daisy, and I have no idea why that wasn't already a costume, and I'm honestly shocked they forgot her in the first game. Link's character icon was changed from the Triforce to the Sheikah symbol after Breath of the Wild Link was added in the 1.6 update to 8 Deluxe. The minimap shown while racing wasn't available when Mario Kart 8 first released. It was added in a later update and became an optional selection in the in-game pause menu. Mario Circuit was designed after a Mobius strip, a one-sided surface that is continuous with both the inside and outside surfaces being connected. Mario Circuit was designed like this to show off the game's anti-gravity gimmick. Mario Kart 8's logo is also a Mobius strip, a graphic design choice to both highlight the anti-gravity gimmick and this game's Mario Circuit. If you registered Mario Kart 8 to Club Nintendo in the first 2 months after its release, you could get a free download code to one of 4 games: New Super Mario Bros. U, Pikmin 3, Wii Party U, or Wind Waker HD. Excitebike Arena, while a very simple track, is slightly different every time you play it. The ramps, mud traps, and boost panels are all randomly generated and placed at random. This was done as a callback to the randomly generated ramps in the original Excitebike game. However, it is not randomized in time trials, as to make sure it's not an RNG battle to get a faster track. The Yarn Yoshis from Yoshi's Woolly World can be seen scattered around Ribbon Road. The gamepad had a big circle horn button on it that would allow you to honk at racers in-game. It also had the standings of all the racers, similar to what the bottom screen would look like in Mario Kart DS and 7. Mario Kart 8 started with 36 playable characters, and by the end of the Booster Course Pass, that number had jumped to 48, meaning they added 12 new characters over the years. The color options for Yoshi and Shy Guy were only made available after purchasing the original Mario Kart 8 DLC. The car attachment shown in the Nintendo Switch First Look trailer was never actually released or talked about again. This shot showing them playing Mario Kart in a van sold so many people on the console, but they just never released this accessory. SNES Rainbow Road and SNES Mario Circuit 3 are tied for the most appearances in a Mario Kart game to date with 6 apiece. SNES Rainbow Road is also the only Rainbow Road in Mario Kart history to not be placed at the end of a Grand Prix. Animal Crossing has 4 different variations, each representing one of the 4 seasons. While it is usually random which variation you get, you can also choose by holding down L for spring, R for summer, ZL for fall, or ZR for winter. A poster titled Kung Fu Lakitu, coming 2015, can be seen on the wall of the room on Ribbon Road. This was obviously inspired by Kung Fu Panda. Another poster on the wall has an actual cover for Mario Kart 8. Does this mean Mario Kart 8 the game is Mario Universe canon? Before the release of the Super Mario Bros. Movie, Jack Black, Keegan-Michael Key, and Charlie Day played Mario Kart with Jacksepticeye. They all played as characters they play in the movie. Mario Kart 8 won the Best Family Game and Best Sports Game categories at the 2014 Game Awards. Mario Kart 8 Deluxe reintroduced 2 item slots from Mario Kart Double Dash, but unlike Double Dash, you have to actually use them in order and can't swap them around. This seems to have become a permanent feature, as this will also be the case in Mario Kart World. In the Mario Kart TV lobby, if you tap the Miis on the gamepad, they will jump and get startled. The Patuis on Riverside Park blow items in the air, and if you attack them, the items will fall to the ground, and if you drive over them, you can actually use them. Mario Kart 8's box art shows Mario and friends on N64 Rainbow Road. This was the first time a retro track was used for the cover art in the series. Mario Kart 8 Deluxe patched an exploit nicknamed fire hopping that allowed players to gain an extended mini turbo. To help justify the patch, they added a third mini turbo level called Ultra Mini Boost to 8 Deluxe with purple sparks. However, purple Ultra Mini turbos are disabled if smart steering is enabled. Many kart parts are identical in stats, but are just palette swaps of other parts. The clearest example of this are the standard tires and the blue standard tires. They're the exact same except these are blue. However, this isn't the case with the gold items, as they actually have higher max speed and are heavier than their standard counterparts. In version 2.2 of Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, they added a custom items option that allows you to select specific items you would like to use in versus mode. There's a digital version of the game called Mario Kart 8 Deluxe Bundle Game Plus Booster Course Pass, with the Booster Course Pass DLC being included. Only thing is, it's the exact same price as just buying the game and DLC separately. Mirror Mode's logo is the 150cc logo mirrored with a red header. Exclusive to Mario Kart 8 on the Wii U, you could unlock Miiverse stamps by winning a Grand Prix with each non-DLC racer, and also defeating the staff ghost times on each track. Mario Kart 8 is the longest supported game Nintendo has ever released. It came out in May of 2014, and its last piece of content was released nearly 10 years later in November 2023. Who would have ever thought when this game came out a decade ago, we would all be playing it for this many years, and for it to still look and play like one of their greatest games of all time. So if you enjoyed this video, please leave a comment with your favorite Mario Kart 8 memory. I'll be sure to reply to as many comments as possible, and thank you all for watching the video. If this video got you in the Mario Kart mood and you're looking for some Mario Kart World content, check out this video covering some interesting theories we have about the game. I'm pretty sure you'll enjoy it. Alright, I'll see you guys next time. Bye!